Hey, this week we are with Al Woodard, amazing videographer in the area, and together he and I are going to chat about why on earth would you hire a videographer?
You know, that seems to be the question on most brides' minds nowadays, especially if they've hired, you know, a good photographer, a very good photographer, spent a good amount of their budget on a photographer. A lot of brides and moms and dads seem to think we're good.
Yeah, we don't need video.
That has been my greatest challenge in the entire time that I've been a videographer. Has not been, you know, other videographers or anything like that. They're more supportive than anything. My greatest challenge has been, well, here's why you need video in addition to photographer, because they don't separate the two.
Well, this is very candid. We haven't set out exactly what we're going to talk about, but I think what we should go into right now is all the preconceptions of video. I mean, I mean, because that's what we're going against.
They're huge. Exactly. That's the one thing that you know what? In my opinion, that's the reason why at least 80% of the weddings don't have video. I mean, I think at least 80% should, and certainly I don't think 80% do.
So if we're going with the preconceptions that people have, the negative preconceptions, your videographer is going to put the camera in everybody's face.
Your videographer is also going to put a mic in everybody's face.
Yes, absolutely. Say something to the bride and groom.
Have a good honeymoon, and we'll see you when you get back.
And then the bride's surprised why the video is kind of awkward.
Yep. Exactly.
And the video is going to be 2 hours long.
That's right up there. That's top 5. We got to get the top 5. That's 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to have like starbursts in the edit.
Oh, old-fashioned effects.
Yes, old-fashioned effects.
That's 4, and number 5, we're never going to watch it after the first time.
Yes. We'll never actually see this again. Of course, if the previous 4 are true, I wouldn't watch it.
I wouldn't watch it either. I absolutely wouldn't watch the whole thing after the first time.
My first exposure to wedding video was my aunt. I was in their wedding. I was 8 at the time, and so every time I would go and visit my aunt and uncle, they'd be like, "Hey, let's watch the wedding video again."
Serious?
It's VHS.
Their wedding video?
Their wedding video.
Okay.
Their wedding video. Now, keep in mind, I mean, this is my first exposure to wedding video, and so I started. The first time I think I saw that was maybe in high school.
Right.
And we sat there. It's VHS. We sat there, and it was like fast forward, fast forward. Oh, this is a funny moment. Play, and everybody else is like,
"Really?
Do you have any more wine? Can I get a beer?"
This is a funny moment.
Oh,
are you sure?
So
yeah.
That is, I think, all 5 of those. Those are brilliant. We battle against those.
That's the main competition. Even here in 2014, it is just people just remember that. Like you remember that video from when you were 8 or 11 or whatever.
Yeah.
In brides, moms' heads, dads' heads, that's what they remember. Even if they had a sister that got married 10 years ago, 12 years ago, they remember that video, which is certainly much better than the video that you're talking about, but it's not today's video. And so, you know, you gotta try to put them in a position to educate them about what today's video / wedding film is, you know.
What do you think changed? Technology?
2 things changed. It's very straightforward. There are 2 very distinct points along the timeline that got us to where we are today.
Yes.
Number 1, the videographer's mindset changed. And at about somewhere after 2000, somewhere around 2005, let's say mid-2000s, everybody, or the trend-setting videographers became, number 1, sick of these long, boring videos.
Yeah.
So, you know, they took steps to make the video shorter.
The highlight reel.
Yeah, exactly.
The highlight was created.
The highlight was created. So now you cut the video down to maybe 6 minutes, 5 minutes, the essence of the video.
Yeah.
Some of them would just, would just supply the couple with the raw footage, but the thing that they would watch would be the highlight reel.
Yeah.
And then, so that was really exciting because now you could see your whole video in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
which is great, which is a great way to see a video. But a few years later, maybe around 2008, 9, the technology changed as well in terms of what videographers use to acquire their footage. And so you could now...
DSLR.
There it is.
Yep.
You can now shoot with smaller cameras that were tremendous in low light. You could use far less lighting, if any.
Yeah.
And you became actually kind of in vogue again, you know, as the guy who used to be this with a 15-pound camera to the guy who you don't even know shooting video now.
Yeah.
And brides really began to appreciate that once they were educated on it. You know, and I think those two things together, so now you got a very limited presence as a videographer.
Yeah.
And you have a very stylized
look.
End result. And those two things, once brides caught on, like, wow, I've never seen anything like that, re-attracted, you know, their attention.
One of the things that I love is having people say, you know, I didn't think that I was going to get a video. I didn't want to get a video. But then I saw some of my friends' stuff. I saw, like, I had a girlfriend who had a wedding video, and they saw Al Woodard's highlight video, or, you know, or saw ours, and were just like, oh my God, it's amazing.
That's the greatest compliment, you know, of all. The two best compliments to me, really, are, number one, we didn't even know you were there. Great compliment.
Yep.
And number two is, we weren't even thinking about video until we saw our friends, and we saw the work that you did for so-and-so, and we gotta have. We didn't have it in the budget, but as soon as we saw it, we had to have it. That's the ultimate compliment.
Yeah,
it is.
That's awesome.
And that says to you, says to me, well, okay, I'm on the right path.
Yeah. And
all I have to do is keep doing this or something better, and everyone should be good. You know?
So now let's come back around. We've talked about the misconceptions, and then what changed, and now, what are the main points? Why should somebody have a videographer at their wedding?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward, given a caveat or two. As long as your videographer is doing something that the photographer isn't doing, is doing something special, and that is helping the bride and groom capture or remember things that they can't. That's the number one reason, by the way, to help the bride and groom and family remember the day.
To capture the day.
Right. But you have to do it in a way that isn't redundant.
Okay.
So that's why you get a videographer.
Oh, I see.
To do it, to capture stuff other than your photographer's capturing. If the photographer is shooting the family on the altar, family formal shots, don't shoot that. Yeah. That's my position, because now it's redundant. All the cameras are pointed this way. Everybody is going to remember this. The bride and groom are there. They remember it. The family's there. They remember the photos. Exactly. What else is going on within the church? What about all of these people back here hugging and kissing? Yeah. Kids running around. You know, aunts and uncles who haven't seen each other for a decade, who won't see each other again for another decade or until a wedding. What about those people who never get together, who you never see? Why aren't they being videotaped or you know, captured? I think that's so the first one is obviously capturing the day. Correct. You have an archive, so to speak. You tell the story of the day. It's a documentary. Yeah. You're documenting the wedding day. But the second one I think you hit on is that we get to tell a story. You know, the emotional implications. Photos are great. It's a snapshot of the day. You're capturing a moment in time with photos. But with video, exactly what you're talking about. We get to flip around as that photographer's taking that photo. And if I love this, is when you have a little kid, right? And you got the bride and groom and the full wedding party, whatever, and you have a little kid. And what the people do behind the camera to get that kid to look at them is freaking hilarious. Exactly. I mean, they turn into just crazy people. Or the things that the kids are doing off camera, like just over here, it's some crazy stuff going on. They're fighting over the pillow, you know, the ring pillow, and you know, or holding up the sign, or making faces, or just running, or flipping out with their mom because they just want to go outside and blow bubbles that they never got to blow, because you know. I love the timeline of a kid. You basically have, like of a young child, you basically have a window of maybe 5 minutes, and you never know if that's going to hit during the photo session or not. That's it. So, you know, what I think, you know, the videographer should do is, the videographer's job, I'm sorry, is to help the couple see the stuff that they did not get a chance to see.
Okay.
That's because everything else they're going to document properly, the speeches, the toast, the rings, the ring exchange, the candles, candlelight, and the kiss. You're going to shoot all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You have to, and that stuff
Yeah.
is very important. But when the bride and groom are on the altar for 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, there's a ton of other stuff going on. When the bride and groom are upstairs in the suite and 200 people are in the cocktail hour, and they never got to come down and see this incredible cocktail hour with this incredible spread, with all of this interaction and activity and chatter and three-piece band, and they paid big money for all of this stuff and never got a chance to appreciate it. That's what the videographer should be doing. The videographer should be in the room, you know, shooting details of all of that stuff that they handmade. And,
yeah, they put so much effort into it, want to see it.
And then what happens is, if you don't get it, 200 people come in, they sit down, you never see it.
Yeah.
You know, they put it in their bags, they take it home, and you're like, I wonder if my guests appreciated it or even saw it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what the videographer should be doing. Should be thinking, I am here to supplement their very hectic, chaotic memory on this day.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so
know?
we have one capturing the day, obviously, which, you know, you mentioned the ceremony and the toasts. Obviously, you know, that's a fundamental element of the videographer, and that's been the case for
absolutely
the whole period of time that wedding video has been around, is to capture that so you can go back and relive it. Then you have telling the story, which also touches on what you talked about of showing the things that the bride and groom couldn't see. What's another reason why somebody should hire a videographer?
I'm sorry.
Well, what just jumped into my mind was actually unfortunately, we had a client very recently who lost a member of their family. And we shot their wedding just this past summer. And so our video was actually one of the last moments that they had together. Now that's an awful reason.
It is. I have an equal, probably a bit more dramatic story. I came back from vacation August 2nd.
Yeah.
August 28th or 3rd, last weekend in August was not booked, which was great because August, in midsummer
nice
I like to chill a little bit.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, very nice.
But when I got back, I did get a call or had an email from a young lady who was like, we weren't going to do video. I'm convinced we need video. I don't know why I'm compelled to get video.
Yeah.
Are you available? Yes, it's a Sunday, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you sent me the referral.
Oh.
And
That's great.
All right. Rob Spring was the photographer.
Yes.
And I'm like, great. This is Sunday. Cool. You know, I'd love to do it. She was a wonderful young woman on the phone.
Yeah.
So within 30 days, they booked me.
Yeah.
And I shot the wedding. Great day. Outdoor, beautiful outdoor event.
Fantastic.
Everything was outstanding. Somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas, her dad, who was 54 years old, passed away in his sleep.
Oh my gosh.
And I got an email that said, and somewhere 2 weeks before that, maybe a week before that, I had put up a trailer, just a teaser.
Yeah.
You know, I finally got to put up your teaser. Here it is. It was out there for like a week. And then I noticed one day it had like 400 hits in a day. And I'm like, what's going on?
What happened?
Yes. And the next day I got an email, or next day or two, I got an email from her that said, hey, listen, I just want to thank you for having been there. In the teaser, you show a shot of me and my dad walking me down the aisle on the wedding day, and it is invaluable to me at this time. It's the only thing saving me, getting me through this period. And I stopped. Like, I was like, first of all, I talked to her dad. We laughed, at twice during the day, and I was just like, imagine that. Imagine that. She booked me within 30 days of her wedding, and now all of those great images, and especially her dad's toast, which was really nice toast. He gave a welcome.
Yeah.
They'll have it indefinitely. They're going to get it on Blu-ray. It's going to be there to stay forevermore. And this is a great representation of why you get a wedding video, which I don't go over when they come in, because,
Well, you don't want to say that.
People come to see you for, consultation. You're not. And by the way,
in case your dad dies. Yeah, that's touching though.
But
That's
you know,
an amazing story.
that's true. That really happened.
Yeah.
And it made me stop and think again. In addition to all these other things, this is what's really, really important.
That's something that somebody wouldn't think of as a reason to have a videographer in the short term, in the immediate, for the day, because it doesn't matter. You know, it's like, whatever, everyone's going to be around forever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But in post, like 10 years later, you never know. To be able to go back and see all these people.
If their parents come with them, their parents get that, and they do kind of bring that up from time to time. The parents will mention that, you know. But somebody who's 25, 26,
no. Yeah.
It's the last thing to think, but that's yet another great reason. It really is.
Well, there you have it. A fun little interview with Al Woodard on why you should, well, the misconceptions of video, what changed in the trends, which is great to hear from you, because how long have you been doing wedding video?
1995.
1995.
I went full-time in 1998 or 99. That's a long time.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
Yeah.
You know, I was the guy with the big lights, big camera, all that stuff, interviewing people.
Yeah.
I used to do all of that stuff.
And then we went over the bullet points of why you should have a videographer, which one, capturing the day, getting the essence so you can go back and watch the ceremony, the toast, etc. Telling the story, being able to grab those emotional moments that the bride and groom don't see, don't think of, don't realize is there. What was the third one that we had? In case somebody passed.
I was going to say the documentary element, which is really just seeing and hearing the people who are important to you.
Yeah.
You know, that's it.
Well, Al, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's you know, another side note, just to put this, just because we're being so candid. I love wedding vendors in this area. You know, there is a camaraderie that's there, especially among the professionals, where it's like, you know what, we're all doing it. We're all doing it for the benefit of the bride and groom. Let's have fun. Let's work together as fellow vendors that are, you know.
Yeah, it's special. I mean, I've know some friends out of the area, and it's not like that everywhere.
No.
So
no.
yeah, Capitol Region is a special place in terms of everybody just trying to support the couple.
Yeah.
And, to have a great day. It's a unique situation.
Well, thanks, Al. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Check back soon for some more great info.